Penpot, our favorite open source design tool, has just gotten better. They've introduced plugins into the ecosystem. And this means more than just innovation for the platform. It means that they are inviting the entire community to innovate with them. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to install, manage, use plugins. And I'm also going to share my thoughts at the end of the video on what I think about the plugin ecosystem, as well as my hopes for what might be coming soon. All right, I have Penpot open here in my browser. Remember, Penpot is a browser-based tool, and I have the dashboard open to my workspace. I also have a file open that I've been working on here. We'll be using that here in a little bit. I also have the plugin help desk open. So we have a lot of information about getting started, creating your own plugins, deploying them, using the API to tap into things. So if you are interested in creating plugins, this is a great place to go. There's also a contest coming up starting in November, ending in December, for building your own plugins, and there'll be prizes and all sorts of cool stuff happening there. So if you want to build a plugin, participate in the community, create cool stuff, I'll leave the links to all of those down below in the description and you can participate. But for now, let's take a look at how we actually use these plugins. Now in the kind of revamped interface inside of Penpot, we now in our upper tab, we have a new plugin option here. And if we just kind of pause there, you can see the hotkey or the quick key to open those up, but I just like to hit plugins just like that. And when we do it, we get this nice plugins panel, and it has a couple of options that are really about finding and installing plugins. We can either find a URL for a plugin and install it directly right there. We can go find the plugins list, and there's a whole nother process. So why don't we actually go look at the plugins list, because like other design tools you might be used to, it's not actually stitched in or part of the actual design tool itself. You have to go to an outside source hosted on the Penpot website. But again, that's all okay because the whole thing is browser based anyways, and they have a whole market here for plugins, which I'm sure they're going to continue to grow and evolve as more and more plugins get created. As I scroll down, you can see we have the ability to create plugins and how to use them, but we're talking about that right now. We have just a list of plugins already, as they've just launched these, that you can already install. Now, how do we install them? There's a couple of different ways, like I showed you. The first way is to actually just hit this install button. I think I need a Lorem Ipsum plugin probably, so I'm going to hit that install button, and it's basically going to open my Penpot workspace back up and say, do I want to allow access to this plugin? Sure. And if I want to, I can then try the plugin. Now, what I could also do is, now that I've done that, I can go back and refresh my project and I can open up plugins, and you can see that I have Lorem Ipsum plugin now installed and ready to use. All I have to do is open it up just like so. So that's a way we can do things. We can also come over here and we can go back over to plugins, open up that plugins kind of like discover tab, and we could do the second way of installing, which is really to find a plugin that we like. Let's click on the actual title and information of the plugin, and that'll lead us to the plugin details screen where we have a bunch of information about that plugin. We can install like this, or we can copy the install URL. Now, if you're installing lots of plugins at one time, probably like I am right now, this is my preferred way to do it. All I have to do is copy that install URL, head back, paste it in right there, and then install, and you'll see it ask for access right there. I'm going to allow access, and boom, my plugin has showed up. This is going to allow me to kind of, shop quickly, in my opinion, and get lots done. I like the icons plugin, the tables plugin, the create palette, and the rename layers plugin. I'm opening all of those up in new tabs, and all I'm doing is copy that install URL, pop it right in there, and allow. So far, so good. We are shopping. So how about that table creator? We'll take that one as well and allow it. It shows up, beautiful. And then we definitely want the rename layers one. So let's copy install there, and we will install and allow, and boom, now we have access to a bunch of different plugins here inside of Penpot. Now, how do you use these plugins? Well, it's really, really easy. We just have that plugin window open. Remember, we hit our little plugin icon on the top toolbar, and we can open up any of these plugins. Let's start with the rename layers plugin. I'm going to open that, and it gives us a movable panel. We can either add text or replace text. And right now it's giving us the original layer name in brackets. And if we want to, we can grab something like all the things that are happening inside of a specific artboard or frame. And let's grab all of those and just add something to this. We'll put something like section dash, and you can see it's going to take everything from this particular naming convention to be named section dash instead. So why don't we hit add, and you'll see that it has renamed all of my layers super duper quickly. That's a helpful plugin to have inside of your Penpot workflow. Let's do a couple more examples here really quickly. I'm going to open up, for instance, our icons plugin. When we do that, we get access to our feather icons, and all you have to do is click these and it'll insert it inside. We can also open plugins like our Lorem Ipsum creator. This is a nice clean one. It allows us to pick a amount or quantity and select between characters, words, sentences, and paragraphs. Let's do something like words here, and we will click in and say, give me something like maybe 22 words. I'm going to generate, and that's going to replace my Lorem Ipsum. You can also just smack basic Lorem Ipsum out onto the page, just like so, and it's going to slam it into an expandable text box. Sometimes that might be what you need. Now, at the end of the day, if you have certain plugins that you want to manage, maybe you don't use them and they're starting to group up or bunch up inside of your plugin screen and you don't like it, well, all we have to do is come here and delete, and that plugin is gone. And like that, you have now installed, managed, used all of your plugins, and it's that same model throughout the entire ecosystem. Now, real quick, let me give you my thoughts on the Penpot plugin ecosystem. I think it's a great addition, especially inviting people into this open source community to build plugins and really further the program. Because remember, Penpot is open source. That means it's free always for everybody at all times. It'll never ever be a paid design tool. And so we need tools like this that are super capable, really, really professional, but also have that ability to extend the functionality. This is what we've seen in the design tool kind of space, is that it needs to be extended through third-party tools. And so I can imagine lots of people jumping on board and building really cool tools and plugins to use here, because it only makes this free platform better. It only allows more and more users in developing areas or people that maybe don't have the finances for a pricey subscription to still have quality tools at their fingertips. So I support Penpot. I think it is an absolutely great tool, and I think you should probably support it too. Now, here's what I would love to see come in this whole Penpot plugin ecosystem. I think immediately we're going to need some stock photography. So we're talking about Unsplash, Pexels, Lumi, definitely going to need some of that. I think that we could use way more tools that have to do with components, design systems, organization, maybe even creating some variables or design tokens like that. Those could be incredibly valuable to professional teams that want to use Penpot. And lastly, we are in the age of AI. I would love to see some of you talented AI developers create some AI-driven plugins here. So image creation, background removal. I think with those kind of put together, it would take Penpot to the next level. I'm not a plugin developer, so I'm calling on the community to help me out here, because I really do enjoy Penpot and I want everybody to be using it as much as possible. So all of you talented developers out there, all of you that write code and want to be involved in an awesome open source community that's doing things for the design community and doing them lovingly and caring about it deeply, I say jump on and start building some plugins for this platform. Well, that's it. That's everything you need to know about Penpot's new plugin system. I can't wait for you to try this out. There's a bunch of helpful links down in the description for Penpot, plugins, things that I like, and things that might help you, as well as that link to start creating plugins of your own on the platform. I highly encourage you to check those out. Also, highly encourage you to leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you know when more videos like this one come out. This channel is growing, evolving, and changing a little bit very soon. So stay tuned for some very cool announcements. I hope you're having an amazing week. I hope you're designing amazing things, making amazing things, and supporting awesome creators and platforms like Penpot. With that said, we'll see you in the next one.